When I was growing up, there was no such a thing in Poland as babysitters. So in grade school, we all would have received a key from our parents on a nice string on our neck. So every morning when I was going to school, my mom would put that key on my neck, so when I was coming back from school, I wouldn't have to wait for them for hours and hours before they returned home from their work. Nowadays, people have babysitters, or the kids spend hours at school, and parents get first home before their kids arrive. It wasn't like that in Poland. But keys are a very important part of our home environment, aren't they? You give them to very few, to very selected people. You give them to your children once you trust them. You give them to your spouse once you trust her or him, right? Actually, it's an interesting moment because I think that giving your boyfriend or girlfriend the key is a turning point in your relationship, isn't it? When you trust that person that you've been dating enough to give her the key to your place. Usually, we don't do that on the first day, do we? Natalie, how soon did you give Michael your key? A year into dating process. They got married just, 6 weeks ago? Something like that? So it took her a year to trust her current husband to give him a key. Felicia, how about you and Bill?
When we were married.
The day you were married, which is like 5 months into your dating? A year after you were dating. Yeah, in the good old days, you would wait until you were married, right, to give someone your key. But times are and times have changed, and it still takes a while to share such an important part of your home. We don't give keys just to anyone. It's almost like giving someone the PIN number to your ATM card. It's extremely personal, extremely important. I don't know how many of you share your PIN number with your boyfriend or girlfriend or husband and wife. Probably not all the wives know all the PIN numbers to all your ATM cards, right? Or imagine sharing your email password with someone, or your Facebook password. That's dangerous. People can do and say things in your name without you knowing. So giving someone a key, giving someone your PIN code, giving someone your email password is extremely important moment in any kind of relationship. It doesn't happen just like that. It takes time, it takes trust and faith in that person. You put basically your life in their hands because they can come to your home and do whatever they want while you are not there. So imagine Jesus saying to Peter, I will give you the keys to my kingdom. Jesus had to trust Peter that he will be a responsible key holder. Actually, funny enough, Peter isn't his name. The name of the apostle is Simon. And Peter is a Greek word for the rock, a stone. So when Jesus says to Simon, Simon, you will be the rock, and on this rock I will build my church, and I will give you the keys to heavenly kingdom. What did Simon do to deserve getting a key from Jesus? Well, first of all, they've been hanging around for over 2 years at that time. So it's almost like you and Michael, right? A year after dating, you gave him a key. So they have known each other for a long enough time to build up some trust relationship. But moreover, Simon answers in a correct way very important question. Who do you think I am? When you date someone, there is a moment when you finally say, are we girlfriends and boyfriends? Are we trying to be a couple? Or is just this casual dating? There is a moment when you switch from casual dating to being serious about each other. When you both realize she's the one, he's the one. And then you say the L word, right? And you are all oh and ah, and you think heaven has descended upon the earth. But this is such a moment between Simon and Jesus. Simon finally says, you know, Jesus, you are the Christ. You are the one sent by God, the one anointed by God. And Jesus says, oh, ah, Simon, you are the rock. On this rock, I will build my church, and I will give you my keys. You see, the most common interpretation of this text is that Simon becomes the Peter, and Peter means the first pope. Naturally, the institution of papacy has not been invented yet and will not be invented for another 200 or 300 years. So Simon clearly hasn't become the pope at this point because there was no such a word as the pope yet. But Simon has been chosen by Jesus to receive the keys to heavenly kingdom. Simon has been chosen when he professed that Jesus is his Christ, that Jesus is the Christ. Christ in Greek means the anointed one, Messiah. Strangely enough, we all become Peters. We all receive the keys. Do you know when? At the time of your baptism. If you are baptized as an adult, you professed your faith in Jesus the Christ, Son of the living God. If you were baptized as an infant, your parents stood here in this pew and saying, yes, I do believe in Jesus Christ. When this faith was proclaimed, either by you or by your parents and godparents, you received the keys. You have been given the same keys that Peter has received from Jesus. At the time of our baptism, we profess our faith in Jesus as the Christ. And because of that faith, we too receive the keys. Sometimes in English, you say baptism, sometimes you say christening, right? And that's what it means. Christening comes from Christ. You profess your faith in Christ, just like Peter did. You are the Christ. So the moment of baptism is the moment when the person, adult or infant, receives the keys to heavenly kingdom. And of course, you will ask me, where is that kingdom? How can I open it? Easy. Look at the Gospel of Matthew at the 6th chapter when Jesus gives so-called Beatitudes. The very first one says, blessed are those who are poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who are peacemakers. Blessed are those who thirst and hunger for justice and righteousness. Blessed are you when they persecute you, for the kingdom of heaven is yours. That's the kingdom that Jesus is talking about. We all have keys to that kingdom. We all should live in that kingdom. Not only sometime after you die, but you should live in that kingdom today. How can you expect to go to the kingdom of heaven after your death if you have never been there before you died? We need to live in God's kingdom today. If I give you a key to my place, if your mom or dad give you a key to your home, why would you go and sleep overnight somewhere else day after day? When my parents gave me the key, I went home straight after school, well, most of the days, straight after school to my home. If I wasn't there, my parents would be losing their minds, thinking, where is he? What is happening with my poor, mischievous Marek? Well, you know me by now a little bit, so you know it's partially true. But that same happens if we don't use the keys which we receive at the time of our baptism. If we live in different kingdoms, if we live with different values than justice, than peace, than righteousness, if we never try to make this kingdom present here today, it will be impossible to get to that kingdom after we die. The kingdom of heaven needs to become our reality today. We need to use that key that Peter and you and I have received to open the gates of the kingdom every single day of our life. We have to make that kingdom present today, so tomorrow when we die, we will be there as well.